Hey everyone, it's Nolan Wheeler, host of Modern Work Mondays for Retail. And as always, I've got my good friend Jeff Strasser with me. Jeff, great to have you on the show.
Great to be here, Nolan. Good to see you.
So what are we going to talk about today, buddy?
So, there's been a lot of noise recently, a lot of interesting stories out on social media world and out in the press, very much centered around some of the work that you guys are doing at Sync, about kind of frontline retail experiences. And so I think it'd be a great opportunity just to kind of recap where some of those conversations have been, what some of the dialogue has been. I know you've taken a few trips to a few of the customers that you work with some industry experts, and I'd love to hear kind of what the feedback's been, where that dialogue's been, and hopefully how that's starting to maybe wake up an industry that we know doesn't move quickly and can't move quickly, right? I mean, so many people, so many distributed locations. Technology is tough when you're balancing interaction with real human customers and with devices to make the business run better itself. But tell me a little bit about all these great conversations you've been having, because it's been a pretty exciting week or two.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a little bit wild. We had Chris Walton and Ann Mazenga from Omni Talk Fast 5 go into Walmart, and they were able to call us out and the technology role we're playing in that store. I'll put that video in the description here. But in our world, Jeff, our little podcast that we're trying to kick off here, we don't maybe have the greatest viewership yet. We got to keep going. For us, a viral video is like 2,500. I think that video that Chris put out is like 60 or 70,000 views right now. So in our little space, we're not, unfortunately, the Kardashians. That's a pretty big video. But that one there has been a fun video that's got a lot of attention and a lot of people reaching out, from partnership to wanting to learn more about the technology. In fact, from all around the world saying, hey, what does this take to get this going in our store? So that was a fun video that went out Monday of last week.
That's super cool. Yeah, and sometimes that's what it takes, right? I mean, especially when they're experiences that until you kind of see them in action, you don't really understand what the impact could be. Actually, I was thinking about you earlier today. I had to run to a pharmacy to pick up a photo that I had uploaded and printed, and there's not a lot of employees working in pharmacies these days, right? You've got the people in the drug department and the pharmacists themselves and assistants. Then you've got usually somebody out in the register and maybe a few people randomly in the store stocking shelves. And I walked up to the counter to pick up my photo that I had printed last weekend or I had submitted, and nobody. I mean, I couldn't find a soul in the area to validate that I was there. I was looking for a bell and anything to get somebody's attention. Ultimately tracked down, the woman working at the register at the front. She had to find somebody in the store. They came up, and by this point, there's somebody behind me online waiting for their photos. And so you either feel the pain consistently as a customer, and you see how others are addressing it. And so this kind of content and these videos just help people see what's possible. It's exciting to hear that it's getting the buzz and getting a little bit of attention.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, right? I mean, that stems into, the other thing that happened with us this week was this story being picked up by Brittain Ladd, who I just love. I think he's one of the most comical guys, just bang on in the industry with his posts. If you're not following Brittain, you got to follow Brittain Ladd. But, we talked about Moneyball for retail. It's like, we're not doing this to try to do something funky. We're doing this because the math demonstrates and shows we need to do this. And you've got a perfect example there. You are a paying customer. There's a particular amount of margin and labor that goes into that product. And by the time it sounds like you had to go to the front, I'm not even talking about the frustration that you went through. I'm talking about the inefficiencies in labor, whereby they probably ended up losing money on that photo because we had to engage 2 or 3 different associates to get you help in that area. So it's like, yeah, we're improving the customer experience, but this is really all about Moneyball. This is just hey, we work so hard to get this margin. Let's not blow it at the very end. So right into the Brittain Ladd post. I'll drop that in the description as well. But Brittain is got a great following, and for him to go through and really get into the Moneyball, the low cube, the high risk, the high value is super exciting. So yeah, sometimes this stuff just takes a while to really get kicking.
Yeah, well, and these conversations are always great because I need somebody to talk to about the things that are either exciting or driving me crazy as a consumer. But it would be great to have, and I think for us to get get some more voices like we did with Tim from Zebra recently, and just kind of contributing to that. Everyone has a different point of view and a different approach, a different set of experiences, and I think bringing that together to this conversation would be amazing.
Yeah. Well, let's close it off there with the fact that over the next couple of weeks, we're going to start getting some guests on, some folks from my world, some folks from yours, and then hopefully we'll get some folks coming in from outside of our world and get a good cross section there. But it's been a great chat. It's been a fun week. We'll post this up, and then next Monday we'll have our first or our second guest, so it'll be good.
Amazing. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Jeff. Have a great week, man.
Thanks, Nolan.